Q1 results, Q2 forecast, $5 million term sheet, and the path to Nasdaq. Everybody, nice to have you with me today. I'm Steve Reinharz, founder, CEO, CTO of Artificial Intelligence Technology Solutions, a growing microcap listed on the OTC Pinks as AITX. This weekly video, we're going to cover those 4 items, and we're going to jump right into it right now, talking about Q1 results. So very good to have year-over-year growth results, right? I think 60+% year-over-year for that particular quarter, comparing last fiscal quarter to this fiscal quarter, up 57%. Great in revenue. Good, right? So very, very good. Very happy to see that. But the eagle-eyed among you will see that we had pretty much flat revenue this first quarter versus the prior quarter, Q4 last year. So what happened was in Q4, we had some contracts end, which is attrition, which is normal. Generally, we expect 5% a year. It's just natural business changes, things change, move, like things happen, nothing is forever. So expect about 5% for that. And then our largest customer had a global program of cost reduction, and we participated in it, and we gave back a discount as well, which decreased our revenues starting in Q1. So the net effect of both of those things, I don't know, I've got a report on it somewhere, could have been 10, 11% plus or minus in terms of revenue decrease from the end of Q4. So we did have new orders come in, to match that number in order to keep revenues flat. And that's great. It's great that we have either growing or the occasional quarter of flat revenue, which we never want to have, but it is better than us not being able to absorb both of those negative items and have a decrease in revenue, which is terrible. Never want that. Those are the reasons why Q4 to Q1 is flat. I see it as business. I see it as definitely successful because we didn't dip in revenues. That's the facts, guys. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Now you know. And what's interesting is now we look at Q2, which when I record this at noon Eastern time on Thursday, we are about halfway through the quarter, right? On the 17th of July. I've said many times, we've said it publicly, we've issued press releases and 8Ks to this effect, that this quarter should be profitable overall. There was a question on profitability. Profitability overall for AITX should be. The reason for that is the gain on the debt settlement, on a very, very, very fair debt settlement to all parties involved. So I'm very happy about that. Let's see if indeed that happens. That could hopefully get us some eyeballs, because I don't know how many companies get that. So particularly at this stage, that's very, very good for us all and very exciting. On the revenue side for the quarter, we did issue a press release, I believe on Wednesday, the 16th, where we talked about our funnel and how we're sitting on $100,000 a month RMR, monthly recurring revenue, that has been verbally told us we're getting it and is at the finish line on the signers' desks. Now, the reality is that number is actually 2-3 times higher. But we figured for the press release, we would talk about the $100,000, which is all clearly identified and just waiting on it. We want to get those sales in. We have a fantastic funnel that we've talked about, but it's important to note, and folks who are in different kinds of business right now, interested in your comments on this, and that is, there is a bit of a hold on a variety of business-to-business economic activity in the United States that I see and feel, and that different peers of mine see and feel as well. So although we have very strong economic indicators like a very hot stock market, continuing strong consumer sentiment, these types of elements are all positive, I am certain that there are business-to-business stalls. I'll give you an example. Last night, one of my neighbors is a senior executive with a 3PL company, and he's saying there's nothing going on. They've closed no big deals this year. And usually 3PL business is pretty active. So I found that very surprising, and it helped substantiate my feelings and what I see in terms of B2B activity being stalled. Now, how do you look at this? And we had this discussion last night, me and this particular neighbor. We're like, do you look at it from the standpoint of, oh my goodness, I've got to get defensive. I've got to go into a defensive position and protect what we have? Or do we have an expectation that things will return to higher, broader based growth? And do we commit to that? And do we do the things that are more optimistic in our organization? They are pushing forward. They're believing that optimistic approach is the right approach, as are we. Now, I think our situations are different, right? Everybody's situation is different. They're in 3PL, so more direct competition. We are pushing forward because we have new solutions that we believe in a big way because we get customer feedback, particularly being ROAMEO and SARA, which could be huge revenue drivers for us. And it's I'll talk about it a little bit later. So we're pushing forward because we know that these new solutions will offer us tremendous growth, even if some of our existing solutions could be moving a little bit slower. So very interesting times. And these are the decisions that really only a CEO can make. And they're difficult. I don't know, we won't know if these decisions are right until time passes. So it's very interesting, and happy to share some of those tough decisions with you guys to consider and speculate on as well. $5 million term sheet. Now, you'll notice for the weekly video that I'm sitting here at my desk, and usually, or not usually, but for the past several months, I've had a green screen behind me. And in order to do that, I got to pull up the green screen and turn on all the lights and tune it all and kill the shadows and get the audio working. And it takes time. This morning, I just don't have the time to do that. Hence, the weekly is coming from my desk here. I have been working on the forecasted income statements, very specifically for the $5 million line of credit. And I just finished a call with our CFO as we went through some of these numbers and assumptions and forecasts to finish the preparation, to finish the submittal to the finance company, which will hopefully get us that $5 million line. They already have forecasts from us, but this is kind of just a new level, just the next level of due diligence where we're really putting it into more of an active income statement as opposed to the summary information that we gave them earlier. So again, different assumptions have to be made. You have to take the best stab at it. And there's some wild cards. And the wild card really here is SARA. Is SARA going to move 100 licenses a month, or are we going to move 50,000 licenses a month? Is the industry going to bite as hard as they say they want to bite on this technology, or is adoption going to be slow? We don't know. I think that's what keeps it exciting and nerve-wracking and harrowing and worthwhile for me, because I'm built on challenge. But let's get this $5 million deal done and let us have access to it, because as I've said publicly in the press release, it gives us options to reduce dilution needed for inventory purchases. And that could be a big deal. So it'll be a big deal for the stock. We'll see. Okay, I know my attorney's going to watch this before it gets published and make sure that I'm clearly saying anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. Okay, know that, right? But you know that we're trying, and you know that we have a plan, and we're working to execute it. Path to Nasdaq, I have most recently, and we've been with this line for maybe the past 12 months or so, forecasting our path to Nasdaq being somewhere between 2027 and 2029. I'll share with everybody right now that the way things are going, 2027 timeframe for Nasdaq right now is looking like the higher likelihood versus 2029. And the reasons for that are consistent with what I've said all along, which is I'm looking for three things. I'm looking for debt to be under a certain number, I'm looking for cash in the bank, and I'm looking for revenue growth. Now, as of this quarter, at the end of second quarter, you'll probably see notes in the upcoming Q that we have reduced debt maybe by $7 million. And of course, 4.7 of that is from the debt note that's been taken off, the loan that's been taken off. And the other couple million is going to come from the rest of the debt that has been coming off. And eagle-eyed folks among you might see in the Q that we just filed that I think that we stated that we maybe brought it down by $1.43 million over the course of the first quarter. By the end of the second quarter, probably bring it down, I'm guessing maybe around the same, but there's some stuff going back and forth with the money. So I'm saying by the end of second quarter, we might bring down debt by $7 million. I was hoping to bring down debt $10 million this fiscal year. We're halfway through the year and we're at 7 already, which puts us in really good shape to hit my 10 goal this year and maybe even exceed it. That means next year we do the same and pretty much boom, 2027 is looking good for that. That's accompanied by the increasing revenues, which I'm staring at these forecasts in front of me right now that look, attainable, trying to be as reasonable as we possibly can be. Then we've hit debt down, revenues up, and the products of those more or less often equal cash in the bank. That's why I'm saying 2027 at this moment is looking like the more likely part of the forecast for Nasdaq, and that's pretty exciting. So we've got work to do. We've got to bring in the ink. We've got to get those units out. We've got to see where SARA's going to go. We got to see how many ROAMEOs we can get. We got to get those first RADDOG LE2s in customers' hands. There's a lot to do, and I assure you, I don't think I've worked a week less than 80 hours since I started this adventure, and I know so many members of our team put all of their effort into this journey and mission as well. So to you watching, if you're a fan, follower, investor, I say thank you very much for being here. If you're a team member, guys, girls, thank you guys so much. A lot of work to do. You're doing a great job. And listen, perseverance, intelligence, a little bit of luck will get us there. Everybody, have a great day. Thank you.